Good morning, folks. It's good to be back. Sorry I had to take a couple days off last week. Some things came up, but no big deal. And here we are again. All good. So yesterday I ran a stream on my Mastodon saying, what we should do. And this is the first time we have had all four options come in exactly equal, which is kind of neat. So we are going to actually start with the distant megalith structure since it was the first one. And because ironically, the megalith structure in the distance is the Dragon's Lair from the third one. So, and at the base of it is going to be the street level view of the ancient civilization ruin. So they all kind of tie together anyway. We're going to approach this one a little differently too. We have been building things much more like game level area or micro areas. And today we're going to look at this more as an illustration. And the reason for that is we're going to cover a lot more space. We're going to have some local areas and some distant areas. So like, let's see, if you kind of look, we want to have our mega structure back here in the distance. And then we want some foreground here and some midground here and probably more hills here like that. And a person kind of like here. And this is a matter of like multiple kilometers between here and then probably some background mountains back here too, just to frame it. I know it looks like a penis right now. Oh well. So we can't build the whole thing as one level, but we can make it in multiple layers and then sort of look at them next to each other, which is more of an illustration way of doing this. So yeah. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started. I just kind of wanted to talk for a minute. So let's work on what the megastructure is going to look like first, because it's going to be back in the distance and is going to sort of set the tone for our thing. And we're going to make it small and then grow it bigger. So we're actually just going to start with our 2-meter cube and edit it. And 3 and GZ, make it up so it's a, tower. Maybe a bit more. There we go. Now let's create a loop here. I know I could have just extruded the first one, but I wasn't exactly sure how big. And scale it out so it does something like that, because I just like those kind of shapes. I think they're cool. And I like that it's kind of narrow at the bottom and then widens out a bit. And then maybe add 2 cuts here, bevel them out, and extrude them inwards. Something like that. Is our base sort of structural idea for this thing. And then tab 3, inset, and E. Give it like a thing at the top. And I think that's pretty cool. I'm going to scale it 4 times larger right now. So we're still very small. And I just want to have a little bit of room. Gonna look and tab and 2. I'm going to just take these and bevel them. So we get more of an octagon thing there, like that. Other beveling I'm not going to worry about because we're going to damage this thing to the point that it's going to matter anyway. Okay, cool. So let's come in, grab everything. Actually, I don't want to grab everything this time. I want to grab 3. And Shift G, area. Cool. That's going to leave those tiny little top and bottom things off. Yeah, we'll grab these triangles too. Why not? And we don't want the bottom. So that seems good. Okay. Shift Q, utility, play insets. We're going with random sculpt or random flow. Sorry, I could speak. And we're going to do it 3 times. Increase our minimum depth to like 0.1, our maximum depth to like 0.3. Does that enough? Maybe even a little more. 0.5. And decrease our plates down to like 50, see if it makes a difference. Just try adding some building shapes to this thing. And we can do it again too, so it's fine. It's starting to feel like a sci-fi megastructure, which is the point. L, no, Control L. It's still one piece, cool. Let's just grab these. Shift G, coplanar. Sure, that's fine. Shift Q, plate insets. Let's go with 25 this time and go again. A maximum of 0.75. So they'll go out even a little bit more. And I like that as the basis for our structure. I think that's kind of cool. One thing I know I want to do is I think extrude that in on that side. I think this is going to kind of be our view. Okay, let's save. Where are we at? Floater. Up. New. 24, 01, 22. Yeah, 1. And distant mega live stream. Megalith. Or Dragonspire. 24, 01, 22-1. Live stream. Distant megalith. Cool. Alrighty, so we got that now. And we still have some fairly small shapes, but it's not too small. And this thing right now is, it's 40 meters high, so it's not small. Okay, let's see if this will work. Scale is good. Let's come down. And I've tried using these and it hasn't worked well for me before after random flow, but let's try real damage, see what it does. If it'll work, it would be cool. It just gets nothing. It's just the way it's cutting into it. The Booleans aren't working right. We can try OCD, same thing. Again, we get these cuts and holes, which we shouldn't have, but I'm not going to argue about it. Let's undo it. We're just going to go straight to erode it. And we're going to erode it. And we're starting to get what we want already, but it's a little, obviously, we need it a little bit more detailed. So let's go to like a resolution of 8. Has been reasonably good for some of the smaller structures I've been doing this last week. Try that. And that looks better. We got a few floaters, but we can just get rid of them. That's fine. It leaves our structure pretty undamaged, but not bad. I don't hate that. We could increase the depth of the erosion to like 0.5. See how that cuts in more. I probably should lower the resolution on this one. I'm going to do these kind of fine things first, but that's a bit better. Let's take it to 1, see what it does. Let's see if we can get some real kind of chunks into it. I'm liking 1. That's looking good. And edge depth, let's see what this goes like at 1. See if it's just too much. It might be too much. It chunks it out a bit. I actually kind of like it. I think that's pretty cool. All right, We're going to just go ahead and apply it. Let's see how big an ugly structure we have now. Probably very big. How many millions of polygons have you given me? 4 million polygons. That's more than we want. This is going to be a distance structure, and I can't afford that kind of. I mean, I can probably, but I'm not going to. So let's decimate it down to like 0.1. Oh, it's only 2 million. It doesn't need to be 2 million. All those flat faces can be way, way shrunk down. At the distance we're looking at, no one is even going to notice. Although decimate does take a few minutes sometimes. There we go. We got down to 300,000 polys. That's acceptable to me. Let's just go ahead and apply that. Got some weird lines here we might have to deal with the normaling, but that's, again, it's fine because it's a ruined structure. We're going to be almost, hopefully, to silhouette levels of distance from it. So should be fine. Everything's fine. Okay, there we are. Now let's edit our structure. 3, Control L, 1, Control I, and we're just going to delete those parts that got cut off from it but are sort of free floating because we don't really want them floating in the air. That's just easy enough to kill them. Save. So now everything's attached, everything's connected, and we have ourselves a happy little megastructure that's only 40 meters tall. And it should probably be 10 times that. Rotation scale. Now, let's just check to make sure the normals aren't anything on it. There are no custom normals. Cool. Let's look at it. It's hard to tell with white on white textures, so let's give it something. Shaders, mine. I've been liking desert sandstone for this kind of stuff. Let's see what it looks like. Probably gonna need to UV it. Yeah, it looks it's a little obviously too shrunk down too right now. Tab, A, U, cube projection, smart UV project. Sure. Let's go edit the material. And get out of Eevee. And it's a pretty simple one, unfortunately. Let's change here. Mapping, Control X, Shift A, search, Uber, polygon Uber mapping. There we go. And let's say scale of 10 or 0.1. What was the other one? Okay, let me go back and I can see what the other thing was doing. It was at 0.1 before. Okay. Let's see, Uber. Let's just make it attach it afterward. Weird. Like it's all wonked out. UV. Call it to UV. X, sneak that. And scale Morning, Micah. Let's see, tab, view, cube projection. Still getting all that like weird stretchy thing. Yeah, maybe we won't bother with this one for right now. X, delete that. And let's just make this 0.01. Or is that way too small? 0.01 seems good. That looks nice. I'm down with that. And this one, we could be the same and go with 0.01. And I don't really know it's going to change too much. It's just this, it's that inner sand one, but it doesn't really matter for this object. Cool. And this, yeah, this is just dividing it up by ambient occlusion, and we can keep our distance to like 10. I'll add a little bit more. Only local, sure. And noise texture seems good. Yep. All right, we're okay with that. Save. And I'm gonna close this because I know we're gonna need other stuff. Okay, and this is like I said, we're into the big structure thing now. So let's go up to view and set our clipping distance from 1 kilometer to 10 kilometers. It's going to give us a lot more space to move things around. And this object is now 400 meters tall. Cool. And we're going to say we want it like here. Maybe even further away than that. Even that's not very far away, but it's enough to be out of our 100. And our, where are we? Photographer. Arri Alexa. Lens anamorphic with a distance here on the lens of the camera of 10 kilometers is huge. Let's try 5 kilometers. Just because it'll make my life easier if I don't have to render everything out that big in a final scene. That's better. Let's get camera, Alt G, bring it to the center. Seems better. And okay, cool. Resolution, widescreen. Just trying to get the size of this thing right, because once we have it placed correctly, other stuff will go easier. I like it right on the rule of thirds point. That's fine. I'm gonna rotate it 90. That way. Yeah, because I wanted our little hole to be there for later stuff. Cool. We're not going to bother giving it a ground because it's like 2 kilometers away. It's not awful. Maybe even take it back a little bit further. And scale it up a bit. Just make it this big old, yeah, there we go. I want it back far enough that it feels distant when we deal with other stuff. And I want to put it going into the clouds. So that'll be the other thing to play with. Let's do that now too. I've been watching the Nebula training course that Creative Shrimp Gleb made, and he had something I really liked, which was a way he's fading. Actually, the megalith one, it's just going to happen to be the same thing. I was being a little tricksy when I was saying it. The fade volumes at the distance. So something like that. Control A, rotation scale, and let's see. It's It's hard to tell with the sky too. Shading. Well, let's give it another sky first. Import EXR. Yeah, we're in the cloud ones, which we like. We know that. Use them from before. Yeah, it's from the advanced basic section. Okay, yeah, I just need to make that bigger. Morning, Micah. Good to see you. Or Michael, sorry. Micah's already talking. Oh, I need to change this to view 10 kilometers so I can see what the heck I'm doing. Right. Yep. And from, there we go. So it just fades in the volume around the edge. So it doesn't go right to the edge. And it's a little bit faded. It's not quite as faded as I maybe would like because we've squished it so big, but that's fine. This one is how chunky it is. This is something I did on my own. This is from the old days actually, but let's kill that. And we're gonna make it very solid like that. Okay, so it's not so much fog as clouds this time, but it does pretty nicely actually match up to our sky. So you don't really, it feels like you're going into that sky of that HDR, even though clearly we're not. So yay, I like that. Love it when a plan comes together. Let me thicken that up. And we're gonna make it a bit higher, I think. There we go. Save. So you can see it going above, but it's not super obvious. But I like it. And now we can forget about it because we're not going to ever be anything up that high again. Clouds this time, it's not fog. So let's just turn it off and not worry about it. Okay. And now I think it's time to play with our probably midground and foreground. We might do those two together. Are we at 23? Yeah, we're doing good. Okay. So we're just going to do that with circle terrain. S50. Goes to show you when that's 100 meters and you're like, wow, it looks small, then we're doing well. That's what we wanted. Control A, rotation scale, not deltas. F7, I. Our usual stuff for making a terrain. Nothing complicated there. G, Y, let's move it over. So we have a terrain and that's fine. And we're gonna play with it now before we add the other stuff to it. I'm just gonna close this again. Okay, tab. I'm going to say 7.3C. Just select kind of all this area here. Good. Turn on proportional. GZ down. Increase it up a bit more. 0. We're definitely going to need to move that around a little bit too, but that's fine. Maybe I won't bring it quite that far. Because there. And I'm going to take these. Exactly. With the circle, there's no corner edge, so you're just like, oh yeah, it just kind of fades off and goes down. You just assume that the ground curves downward and you don't notice it. Your eye doesn't really freak out too much about it usually. That's the theory anyway. Seems to work mostly. I picked it up from some guy on YouTube, and I was like, oh yeah, that's a great idea. Before that, I was doing um, planes and just having to tuck down all the corners. The reason to do a plane is, okay, here you can see as we get closer to the center, we're getting smaller chunks, which means actually this will be the most detailed part of our ground right there. If you want straight lines going across for stuff, it's easier to do it with a plane. But since I'm just making kind of a generic ground, it doesn't super matter. If I'm making roads, I'd want to do it with a plane. I hope that makes sense. Okay, here we go. Add to modifier, geometry nodes. Some guy on YouTube, I know, right? We all learn from other people. It's fun. That's how it should be. That's a little too either high up or big, one of the two, for what I want. Let's just flatten it down a lot. Still, something like that I think is good. We're going to put a train in the middle, I think, too, but I like this. And I'm really not sure what I want to put here. Part of me really wants to do like a lake. I've been kind of, let's do it. S25, oh, S2. There we go. Just a bigger than our ground. Control A, rotation scale, tab F, GZ. I think that's cool. I actually think what I'm going to do is maybe raise up my camera a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's better. Cool. Then we can start playing a bit more. Come back to object mode. This one. Turn this off in edit mode. Edit it. 3 GZ. I go 1 GZ. 0. Let's look at it from. That's better. That looks cool. Maybe I'm gonna take these two, bring them down slightly like that. Yeah. There we go. That's a cool looking shore. Nice. All right. Let's take our our water, apply it, make sure I do that. Q, solidify it, and bring it down. Because the polygon IQ material is actually a volume, so it works better if it's, solid. And so let's go grab it right now. Just put it on the water, because why wait? Spawn material. I still like this grungy pond water. It's just, I like dirty water. So we're going to use it. Yep. 0. And let's just, we've saved, right? Yep. Oh, I have not had nearly as many crashes since I upgraded my NVIDIA driver last week. It's been actually way better. I think I had 1 since then instead of, 5 a day. So knock on wood, maybe that actually helped. That's looking pretty good. Our tower still seems very close, even though it's not so much, but it feels close because of the flatness of our terrain. Like, it's hard to tell how far apart that is from that. There's a few things we can do about that. I think the first and easiest one is just to build ourselves an ant terrain. Ant landscape. Gotta love them. Mesh. When you don't really care, come on, what your landscape looks like, you just need it to be there. And I'm actually going to go with large terrain this time. Yes. Size X is going to be 100. Yeah, looks good. We'll still leave it at the subdivisions level because I don't think it's going to matter. Okay. And if we bring it over and over and scale it up, just scale it. Something like that. I'm actually sure I like it. It's maybe a little too large scale terrain for me. Let's try another one. Shift A, mesh. I hate when it does that. Landscape. Instead of an ant, let's go with mountain. But again, we'll do the same thing. We're going to make the mesh Y size. X size will be 25. Y size is going to be 150. Oh, other way around. Sorry. 25 and 150. And where does Z go? It's a little too stuffy. There we go. Let's see if that's better. Still not digging it. Okay. Be that way then. One more time. Look at me. I'm trying to be all cool and it's not working. 25 or just 2 and 2. Go back to the default mountains because I know I like doing it this way. Yeah, sure. Random seed. Just give it some number. Scale it up. That's better. Okay. Scale. G. And just creating basically a ridge. Like that. And yes, we are creating a nice little, ooh, look here, trying to be subtle about it, but there it is. That's gonna be our mid ground. All right, with that. And then distant backgrounds. Mesh again. Come on, down. Landscape. Different. S50. S5. We want it big. Scale. That's the level of big we're looking for. Behind that. Let's go back further, clearly. I don't like it right on. There we go. Save. Okay, so that's what I mean by we got our distance. Although I think I want this to be a little taller. And this one too, I think. I'm gonna kind of go with that more. We'll stretch this out though. There we go. The only thing I don't want to be is I don't ever want to see the base. So we need to increase the height of this one, not that one. This purple one, slightly, right? Yeah, and this blue one slightly to like there. Yeah. We'll move this blue one back a little bit. I'm always trying to increase the sense of objects stacking on top of each other. So having them flat directly on each other decreases your sense of depth, which sometimes is what you want in a world. But if you want it to feel like you're going into something, let's move them around a little bit. That feels better now, I think. We're still going to go in front of our there. And this one, bring down a little bit or up a little bit, up a little bit. So we got intersection, 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 all these nice non-tangenty intersection points there. I think that's cool. All right. It's neat to kind of work on the illustration side of it every once in a while because, again, mostly I play in more like building the micro environments, and it's a really different way of thinking. But that's cool. I like it. All right. So now I'm going to join these together in our background mountain. I'm going to join these together into our midground. And maybe I'll even move them into groups. Collection, midground, background. And then we can put this into collection water and this into collection foreground. And we'll be doubly special. We'll move water into foreground. There we go. So we have it divided up nicely into our spaces. Look at that. Quality. Let's give this auto landscape. Let's see what it looks like. It might need some tweaking. 0, save, turn on our, not bad. Not bad. I think I'm going to take our clouds, stretch them. Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. Do I want it a little less? Never, always curious about this because it's like, how much of the building do we want to see? I think that might be better. So it's just touching, it's kissing the top of that mountain and going up into our building. But our building, maybe we want to, I don't know. Like I want to be able to make sure we recognize it as something different from the area around it too. Which means maybe I will bring that down. We'll just do that. So it is by far the tallest thing. Maybe that's better. I think it is. We might put some stuff. Ooh, yeah, we could do that. 38, doing good. I want to now replicate some forms several places so we get a sense of continuity. And I think the first thing we're going to do is put a couple of micro mega structures here. Shift A, mesh, cube, S5. See, that's too big. There we go. It's not going to be very big. Don't have to worry about what this building would actually be for. Not for here. Scale, E, scale. Same basic form as our other one, right? We're going to need some overlap, I think. But we might even scale it. Move this one out to here. Yeah, like that. Okay. So this building is now what? Because I am kind of worried about making things roughly. So 9 meters by, it's a tiny building, but it's a tower. Cool. It is a sized building enough that it could actually be a building. That's really all I cared about. Control A, rotation scale, tab. We're going to add, we're not actually going to cut this one. Just to make it different. Let's bevel that out. A, deselect that. And Shift Q, plate insets, 2 subs. Nice. Cool. I think that'll work. And we're just going to jump straight to erode it on this one. And erode it. We could even give it the same eroded settings as the last one. Right? That copies the erosion. Or does it? No, doesn't look like it does, because it maybe lost it when I... Yeah, it's fine. We'll just redo it. Damage scale, erosion depth of 1, big cuts. Edge depth of 1, big cuts there. Edge erosion of 1, more cuts there. Don't doesn't give us more, that much more. Resolution of 5. Let's see what we got. Cool. Looks good. And I'm not going to apply it just yet because I'm going to do it one more time on another one. I want something here in the front there, but I'm going to move it back to like there. Cube, scale, 4. I really feel like it does. I like eroded a lot, actually. I think it's, the other two are cool, but this one just gives me consistent results all the time, which is nice because I don't have time to mess with like, why isn't OCD working right now? I am not that kind of OCD. Ha. Scale, E, scale, and I'm just gonna do that. Ooh, yeah, that's cool. I like that. Add 2 cuts, bevel. Okay, and again. There. Shift G, area. I didn't get the small ones. Fine. Just wanted to select both sides of those. You can invert it, not play with, not punch them out. Shift Q, utility, plate insets. Ooh, nope, don't go that far. Where'd it go? I think it's a bug. Interesting. Insets, 3. That's fine. Tab, cool. Copy erosion. Erode it. How do I paste the erosion? Oh, I have to maybe select it from both and then, does that work? Is that how it does it? Looks like that's how it does it. Yeah, that's how it does it. Cool. Nice, nice, nice. Okay. And I'm just going to take this object here and I'm going to apply it. And I'm going to decimate it, I think. It's not huge, but it doesn't need to be big, so. We still haven't applied any kind of a geoscatter to our foreground, so, probably want to cut things down at least a little bit. Yeah, cool. Apply it. I'm going to do the same to the midground one too. Okay, and tab A U cube projection. And what was the material again? Desert sandstone. Cool. Desert sandstone. Alt D RZ 180 GX. Give us a nice little archy kind of thing. Yes. There we go. Cool. Something like that. That helps us. Then I think do one more smaller, like right here, kind of, yeah, in our actual ground area. Cube S2, so it's tiny, but it's fine. We want to just keep track of the scale on it from this one. Tab 3, scale again, E, scale again. Cool. And goes straight vertical there. It's kind of all right. And let's just to be different. Okay. It had something else going on to it. This one I know I still need to clean up. I haven't forgotten yet. Okay. But we'll keep it simple this time. We don't want it on the bottom though. Shift Q, plate and sets. Sure. Seed. I'm gonna go with 50. No. Come back. Oh, why it's getting that's a bug. I'll have to check with Blender Guppy on that one. There we go. That's fine. Yep, that's fine. And we got that one. Erode it. Copy erosion. Cool. And the only thing I don't want is it's too close to the same height for this one. So this one, I'm probably going to apply it first. Don't want to do that too much. Yep. Oh, okay. It worked. That's all right. Yep. Cool. And let's apply it. And I imagine let's decimate it. 48, we're doing good. Yeah, it's almost a million. We'll take it down to like, again, 1.5, sure. Cool. Yeah, that's a good number. Kind of looking for under 300,000 polys. Which is just funny to me, right? It's like something that used to be the higher end. Oh my God, it's 300,000 polys. And you're like, it's nothing. It's under 300,000 polys. I don't have to care anymore. Tab, let's see, 3, Control L, 1, Control I, X, vertices. A, U, cube projection, and desert sandstone. Cool. Save. We got this one we still haven't applied, and I think we're going to do one more here. Again, just to give us that this area, this land is continuing on. This is a progression cube. That's a 2 meter square, S 1.5. Now it's a 3 meter square. So it's still tiny, which is good. We don't want it big. No, not that one. This one. I mean, from a story perspective, I have not explained it and I am not going to. From a anything other perspective, because it looks cool, but yeah. There we go. Cool. Nice and simple on this one. Oh, even game assets, it's gotten crazy better. Like that's kind of almost more what I was talking about. Characters used to be like 40,000 polys was an insanely high amount, and now AAA video game characters are way higher than that when they're sculpted. Okay, this bad boy, tab him, A, no, insets. It's a little much because he's smaller. So let's cut him down to min. 0.1 still good. Maximum 0.5. Let's see what else we can play with here. Thank you, Microsoft, for telling me to look at my memories. Cool. Yep, that'll work. You still have to be careful, but compared to the old days, you don't have to be careful at all. Not in a background thing. In a foreground thing, you might be surprised, particularly with like Unreal Engine and the nanite stuff now. They're doing that all the time now. It's kind of crazy. All right. Yeah, erode it. Cool. Oh, this one, that one. Copy. Or did I go the wrong way? No, I went the right way. Cool. Some weird banding there. I'm not sure I like it or don't like it. I'm gonna cut my edge erosion back to 0.6. See what that gives us. Okay. And edge depth back to like 0.75. That's cool. Yeah, that'll work for me. And then let's apply it. And then same with this one. Let's just go ahead and apply it. And here, it's probably not huge, but decimate it. Let's see. How big is it? This one's still pretty big. I'm not going to take this one down as far because it's right next to our first camera. Although, honestly, all of our cameras are going to be the same, so because we're moving around. So, and we'll take 0.2. We'll let the material cover it. There we go. Yep. Add modifier, decimate. This one was small already. Wasn't bad. I will take it down. Had less chunky bits. Cool. Apply. and sandstone, and sandstone. And we need to come through now and edit, right? Yeah. 3, Control L, 1, Control I, X, vertices, tab. Yeah, A, U, cube projection. Ditto here, tab, Control L, 1, Control I, X, vertices, A, U, cube projection. I think that's covered that. Let's see. Cool. We still don't feel like we have our depth, and that's because we're not seeing a lot of atmospheric. So like that feel, it's hard to tell. Like, can you tell how far that is from that? It's very difficult. Now we could create. Oh yeah, that mouse thing, that was amazing looking. Let's see. Let's set our world depth to pass of 5 kilometers. Yeah. And let's see. I'm just gonna. This shouldn't take long. I'm actually gonna turn off our fog just to try something here. I want to say F12. We're actually gonna do a real render here. Hopefully it won't take too long. Minute 40. Okay, we can live with that. Let it go. Oh, we got some. Well, that's fine. Some weird things hanging off the side. They must be connected. Yeah, they're like micro connected there and there. That's fine. All right, come on. Okay. Now, this is going to be hard to do and show you guys. I'm going to have to move it out of the way and come back because I have to do 2 monitors. Compositing. We are going to increase the impact of this mispass here a lot. That's too much. Change the color. 0 to gray. 1. That's better. Yeah, it's YouTube. I believe. I think I saw it on Mastodon from like one of those Blender sharing groups, but it's pretty intense. It's cool looking. All right. Maybe we want it a little less than 5. Let's go 2500 and save and re-render. I apologize you can't see this. This is just, but it's kind of necessary for us to know what we're doing here. So we're re-rendering again. This mispass just basically uses the Z depth to add fake fog. Cool, glad you found it. So this fog won't interact with lights because it's literally just adding an overlay on top at the end. But since we don't have any lights here, it should be fine. And it's way faster. Yeah, there we go. See, that's better. These are still too bright though. And I think we can tweak that by moving this closer. I like keeping that there. Let's make a new one. And I'm gonna try to, I don't think I can do this so I can show you. I'm sorry. That is better. Position. Okay, we're gonna make this, we're gonna actually just do this 0.01. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so let's check it out. So that's what we've done with that pass now. So now you see how it feels like it's going back into the fog. I think that's better. That looks cooler to me. It's a very cheap way to get depth into a scene, and it works in this case, so we're good with it. But I wanted to do it before, and all we did was we created basically a mist color that it's doing an overlay on top of. And this is just my mist toggle, so I can decrease it up and down. Okay, cool. One of these days we may have to go and do a compositing video, but it's really hard because I can't do it all on one screen. These things are bugging me though, so let's fix them. Solo it, tab, and I don't like this thing sticking down. We do have a slight hole in our mesh now, but I don't care because no one but me will see it. And that's better. I'm gonna do the same on this side too. I don't like this thing sticking up. I'm just gonna grab them all. Sorry, Micah. This time, I'm just gonna have to tell you, you're wrong. I mean, it's cool not to like it. I don't mind if you don't like it, but I do like it. It's what I want it to be. And this one, did I not get rid of this? I thought I did. 3, Control L. Nope. 1, Control I, X, vertices. There we go. That fixed that. It's not supposed to look tasty. It's supposed to look like brutalist architecture with a weird twist to it. And the funny thing is, if you were to put a sci-fi texture on it, you probably wouldn't say anything. It's just the fact that it's got these rock things on it that makes it feel a little strange. And this one here. Let's do this one too. Let's get rid of that. Cool. Yeah, it's better. It's when you start blending the sci-fi shapes with the fantasy materials, it causes a bit like, huh? To people, which is the huh I'm looking for on this one. So I'm good with that. Okay, cool. Not sure about I may have to change the material on this foreground one. It might be a little too small, or the mapping. And it's mapping object and not UV, right? Let's see. I think it is. Material, just make it a new one. Solo it. Shading and solo it. Yeah. Let's try taking it. This one. This is the big one, right? Yeah, it's too much, but let's see. Just go to 1. Yeah, it's between those two. I think maybe just 0.1. Yeah. Okay, 0. Yeah, that's better. Okay, yes, that's much better. Good. Okay. So we have two structures in our foreground. New collection, F-ground structures. Look at our very, detailed naming. And I'm going to actually move them again also into foreground. And then these are going to be new collection, ground structures. Did it go? Collection, ground structures. There we go. And we can move them to the midground. Yeah. And this bad boy here, we might as well just do it. New collection, BG structure. Z. Move to our background. It's all good, Maya. We're doing different things. I'm not the mouse, rat, whatever looks pretty cool. That's abs, and they spent a lot of time on it. I can guarantee you that. Okay, cool. So let's now start playing with some stuff. Geoscattering. Select it. Object. Biome scatter. Open biomes. Oh, I still have something up. Yep. No other windows allowed. It's not even just the asset browser. It's any other window. So if you have a render open, it won't work errors out. Like, oh, okay. Be that way. Fine. 3 with the big rocks. I do like the big rocks. I knew I had one other thing I wanted to do too. That's right. I remember now. Oh, cool. I'm glad. There we go. Coming up. Thinking. Yes, there's a lot we know. All right. So we're going to make... I kind of like the rock sticking through. The grass I will not have stick through the water. The rocks, though, I kind of like. But the rocks I want, the big rocks I want to, that's run. The big rocks I want to have a proximity repelling from the structures of like 2 meters. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. That's cool. That's cool. That works for me. Now, I don't know. We really are going to need a lot. A lot of materials on. We certainly don't need any materials on these far back ones. They're just fogged. These mid-ground ones, it could go either way. Let's do our rock thing again. Let's do a biome 5. Actually, let's just grab these two. That's the easiest way to do it. And copy selected biomes. And then nuke that, select that, and paste the systems. And I didn't, okay. Control A, rotation scale. There we go. Yeah, you can see them, so we'll leave them on. I don't know if you can see the small ones, but It's probably a waste of time, but we'll leave them for overkill purposes. Save. Okay, exit that. Now I want to put a skeleton in here. I just feel like it calls out for a big fuck off skeleton. So let's grab one. We'll go to Kanza Tejkans, and he has skeletons. So we can just grab something and just use it. What do we think is cool? It's like a turtle, I think. Something ideally I don't have to do a lot of warping around would be nice. And not something super identifiable as a dinosaur. Kind of like this one. Let's use it. Bring it in. Cool. Close that. Scale. Ooh, kind of cool. No, I like it right like that. That works. Maybe the head shouldn't be on it. Maybe we'll get rid of the head. And I'll get rid of the head. Tab, if I can. I mean, I know I can, but nope, it's the whole thing. Okay, fine. And Alt-Z, C. There we go. And we'll keep it. P. Oh, nice. Let's just look at this object now, solo it, and see if we can't fill that hole back up where I wantonly cut this guy's head off. I'm gonna no. Where do I want to cut it? Can I just do here? I can. But it doesn't. Nope, it spirals. Yeah, bastard. Yeah, chunky monkey. Okay. 3. Get rid of that. That. X. Faces. This is a bit of a pain, but it's not too bad. K to there. K to there. 3. X. Faces. 2. F. And because it's a really ugly Engon, we're just going to go to face and poke faces. Now it's not quite so fugly. Okay, this one should be easier, looks like. Yeah. 3, just gonna select that. X, faces. 2, F, face, poke face. Cool, that one was easy. This one looks like it's gonna be a bit more of a pain, but not too bad. Okay, just go to here. 3. Nope. X faces. Okay. Look at me like closing up things and trying to be a good modeler. Always laugh. I am like so not that. F, cool. Poke faces. Okay, there we go. Now the skeleton's full. And then we can come back to our head, and I'm not going to bother with the head because I'm just going to move it down into the water and rotate it. Object, set origin, geometry. In the water. Cool. And just so I can see it, because, you know, why not? There we go. Right. Save. Where are we at? 115? Doing good. Cool. Let's grab a bone material. I have one of those saved in my library. Bone. Yep. And bone. Save. Close our area. Save it. Now we have 14 minutes and we're almost done. So let's do something a little fun, maybe. Maybe it's fun. Let's make a person and put him here. And then we're going to tweak him a little bit, do something different than we normally do. Human gen. Male or female? I do like having me some older ladies. Let's do an older lady. I mean, I love that one so much. I use her all the time now. Macy seems cool. It's nice to have something that will set scale, and this will do a lot for that. Yeah, we go. Cool. She's good sized. We're just going to randomize her because we don't care. Next. We're going to leave her at 63. Face, randomize totally. Whew. We're not even going to see it. I don't think so. It's fine. Height. Let's make her higher than 5'3". Let's make her 5'6". 5'7". 5'9". 5'9" seems good. Kind of more of a heroic height, whatever the fuck that means. Let's give her a slightly darker skin. Let's go with 6. Main settings, randomize it. Turn on subsurface. Turn off her underwear just in case, although I don't think it's going to matter. Hair. I like her existing hair, but let's make it accurate instead of fast. And clothing. Here's the question. We're going to give her footwear. We'll give her the Desert Warrior boots because they're cool looking. I think they fit reasonably well on her. Yep, they do. And we're going to not give her other clothing yet. Pose. We'll go with no. Standing looking up. Cool. And we'll just lay her out in the right angles for where we want her to be. Right there. That seems okay. She doesn't need to be super close to us. Maybe we'll rotate her a little more. Cool. We can always bring her close if we need to. All right. We like her. She's good. And let's go now and solo her just because it'll make my life easier to see. Select hierarchy. So cool. So now let's come and Shift A, mesh, circle. Control A, rotation scale, 7, F, I. Cool. X that center face. Ugh. I don't care. I don't need to change her. Thank you. GZ. We're giving her a poncho. We're going to make our own. Cool. Might need to be a bit longer. And it's going to be very rudimentary because our arms are going to be in it. And that's fine too. Let's scale it up. Cool. And 2, scale it in a bit. And just cause. I wonder, actually. Ooh, that could be neat. I think I'm gonna, yeah. AW subdivide. Cool. Yeah, that's good. Select. Selection. Well, I almost never use this. Check or deselect. X faces. There we go. That should be neat. Might be a little long now. We'll shrink it in a little bit. Control A, rotation and scale. There we go. Good place to start from. Simply cloth. This is dumb because there's no sewing involved. This is like the world's easiest thing. Add collision, and we'll just make it 0.001 and 0.001. Cool. Cloth. Create simply cloth. Yeah. And we're gonna make it. I like things that show stuff. So crease is just all like grody and wrinkled, right? Ooh, that's neat though. Let's see, we got too big. Oh, it's got a shrink it, minus shrinkage. That's why. 0. Play. Still too big, but getting better. Reset. Okay, so we do actually need to shrink it down a little bit. Scale it in. Control A, rotation scale. And I'm going to increase her. Well, actually, we won't increase her yet. Let's turn on, where are we? Collisions. Turn on self collision. Yeah, that's good. Increase our collision quality to 20 and our quality steps to 20. Let's see what that does for us. Still too big. That's better. It's kind of neat. Not really what I was planning, but kind of neat. The over-the-shoulder thing's kind of cool. I don't hate it. Yeah, actually, I'm kind of digging it. Let's give her that older over-the-shoulder one. We're just letting the simulation kind of come to a more static point. And that looks good. I am pretty good with that. The only other thing I want to try is, let's see, subdivisions. We've got some, right? Cloth modifiers. There we go. Solidify. Cool. Sure. It's 0.005. And where is my subdiv? Why am I blind? It's not cloth enhancements, pin groups. Oh yeah, but again, this is just going to be an image, so presumably there could be a slit cut through, and you just can't see it. I don't have to worry about it. She's not moving. But you're right. Totally impractical garment. Um, solidify. Where's my subdiv? Sewing? No. Cloth modifiers. Cloth enhancements? No. Remove enhancements. All right. Well, fuck you. Tab A U W subdivide. There we go. Do it that way. Yeah, we got too big again. But I do like the subdivision better. So, fine. Cloth properties. Let's strengthen it a little bit and decrease its weight 0.25 kg. Yeah, cool. No, I've made real clothes for characters and spent all the time making sure they have all the cuts and seams and all that kind of stuff. But, we also have to factor in the fact that we have 3 minutes left in our stream. So, we make shortcuts for images sometimes. It does happen. Clients are, you know, of which you guys are this time, a tough bunch. That's better though. Yeah. Oh yeah, more subdividing is huge for cloth. You just need to do it sometimes. But too much and it gets fugly. But that looks all right. It doesn't seem like it's moving much anymore. Let's pause it. I dig that. Let's finish it. Finish and apply. We can just apply everything. Okay. Q. Actually, we're just gonna object shade smooth. Oh yeah, fuck that. I'm the guy who makes older women who aren't which yeah, anorexic and all my things. I'm with you here, like for sure. Real clothes are what you need. I just wanted to make a cloak for her, basically, just for showing it. But I agree, absolutely. It's bullshit. Okay, grunge cloth should be good. Maybe just leave it that color. Let's see. I know, right? Shocked. I'd almost like to give her a strap over the top there, but um, but not enough time today. And it doesn't. She's not the purpose of this image. We'll get to when I do the chaos or the cultist band. I want to do a lot of clothing stuff, a lot of capes and that kind of stuff. That's kind of what that day I think is going to be more than environments. Is like let's get some characters and some clothing done. So later on this week, I think. Yeah, that's cool. Close it. Unsolo her. 0. I mean, she's that big too. Like, um, save, and I'm gonna make her the subject because she's a human being. It just tends to make sense. 15 meters away. Sounds good. Save it. Let's see if it's, turn on our fog again. Or clouds. So everything's on. Let's see what we got. Um, yeah, it's hard to exactly tell without seeing the compositing fog, but I remember it as being pretty good. I think we're all right there. I'm gonna maybe turn her hair on just to see it. Kim and Jen. Yeah, cool. Think that should be pretty good. I like, he's turned out nice. He's good there. I like just how desolate it all looks. It doesn't look like a very fun place, which is awesome. I don't want it to look like a fun place. Um, Unless you're into that kind of thing, I guess. Um, and I like the clouds. I think that's the fact that they're integrating like that almost seamlessly with the background is really cool. I'm into that. Um, yeah. All right, folks. Well, we're gonna call it. I'll get posted up. There will be a couple views on this one. We got to be a little bit more careful than before because obviously we can't go running into the whole scene. But I think as long as we stay kind of reasonably close up here, we can do some cool different views of this stuff and have the other things in the background. Um, yeah. Thanks for hanging out with me. I hope it was cool. Again, sorry for missing 2 days last week. It was a combination of house sitting a cat plus icy weather meant that I had to stay over the night versus being driving up in the morning, so I missed my stream on Friday. But yeah, um, all good. And yeah, have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you later. Take care, folks. Bye.